Afternoon. My name is Mr. Tukuta. I'm the senior lecturer at Sibande TVET College, Sibande 2 campus. So today I will be presenting new venture level 4. So the government places much emphasis on small medium enterprise, driving growth in our countries. So the main reason for government to do that is to create more jobs, which results in improving the lives of the citizens, and the economy will improve. So in our country or in our government, there's so many opportunities for funding for small that are targeting especially youth, young people who want to start their own businesses. So the government also supports this initiative in supporting small, medium enterprise. So our focus today will be focusing on the research, the possibility of establishing, running a small enterprise, how to finance new business, new venture, and comply with organizational ethics, the code of conduct. So before you start to gather information, or you start to find where can I get money and so on, it's very much important that you do what you call a SWOT analysis. You look at your personal profile yourself. So that includes your strengths, the talent that you have, ability that you have, the weaknesses, what you don't have, things you are better doing it. And also you look at the opportunity and the threat. Then after looking at the strengths, weaknesses, opportunity, and the threats, you will be able to identify where you are lacking, where you need assistance, if there's a need to go to attend a training session. You can go to get those important skills so that your business can be successful. So the first one, you identify training required to ensure that success, your business or the small, medium enterprise that you want to start is success. So you can get those training from for example, TVET College. So our TVET College is one of the best in the country. We've been doing well in all careers. So if you need to improve your skills and knowledge, you are welcome. So number 2, you decide where to access the training. So there are many institutions of training, of higher training in our country that you can go and register and get those important skills. So the other one, research the need for the identified product or services. So it's very much important that you do the market research. You market the product that you want to offer, the service. If your business is about offering services or it's about selling the product, do research thoroughly where you want to sell your product, and make sure that you have a target market. You identify your target market. Who are those target market? Is it, for example, youth, young people, adult, or children, and so on? Importance of market research, using the research method and the competitors. You can also research about the competitors. So it might happen that the product that you want to offer is already there in the market, the same location that you identify. Then do research about the competitor, your competitor or a potential competitor, so that your business can be success. So how to select suitable location for your business, small medium enterprise? How to select suitable location? So there are a lot of things that you need to consider. You want to check factors to consider when choosing location. For example, access to premises. Is the premises, the building that you want to choose, is it accessible? Safety of the premises, is it safety? Is it safe? locate close to the owner, the space, and the price. So, after you consider the factors concerning the location, the other thing that you need to check as part of your market researching is a municipal bylaw and zoning. So all the municipality, they have laws that are there to control all the activity within the certain municipality. So, for example, we can talk about zoning. Your zoning is about municipality have to divide the city, town into areas called zone. For example, if you go to certain town in the city, there are parts where maybe it's specialized, it's only worship or the churches. They are part for the residents where you will find only residents. So it's about the law that is there within that particular municipality to control all the activities so that nobody can just do as they want. So after zoning, we have what you call bylaw. So bylaw, it means that the law that municipality put in place to keep control of all the activities in the areas. All activities in the areas. Law that put by the municipality to control all the activities. Either there's a conference, it's business, anything that is there in the town must be controlled. So, after you look at the municipality, the other things which is good for the small, medium enterprise, small business, it's a networking. Networking worked for small business. So networking involves keeping in touch with the people in your community and the fields of business. For example, you can join professional association related to your work or related to the field of the business, attending and taking part in the trade show, and so on. Then after networking, we have a risk association with the small, medium enterprise. Remember, one of the characteristics of the entrepreneur is a risk. They are risk taker. So expect a lot of risk. So the moment you take your money from your own pocket, from where you get your money, your ideas, remember that you are taking a risk. So there are risks that are associated with the financial risk. For example, mismanagement of the money, failing to record all the transaction, and so on. Number two, there are risks associated with the employer. Sometimes employer can decide to go on strike, and that will affect your business. There are risks associated with the marketing. With marketing, you are expected to be ethical, to be truthful, and honest, because there's an agency in the government that is there to protect all the customer against marketing, advertising, promotion, whereby they give us false information in our country. There's also risk associated with stock. Especially most of the business, what they do, they just transfer the risk to the insurance, whereby in case there's a problem with their stock, the insurance will take care of that risk. Then after the risk, where financial aspects involve running on a small, medium enterprise. We're talking about startup capital, working capital. Startup capital is money that you need to start the business. Before you start the business, you must have money to start buying equipment, assets, leasing, buying expenses for phone or telephone calls, water, and so on. And working capital is the money that's needed to operate in the business in the first few months until the business starts to make a profit. You need startup capital. You also need working capital. You need startup capital, and you also need working capital. So, financial control required to ensure that the business is viable. The first one is budget. You can't run a business without a budget. It's very much that you budget, you draft a budget, a good budget. How are you going to spend the money? How are you going to control the money? How are you going to make sure that all the transaction of the business. They are controlled, they are protected, and so on. Check bank statement. That's number 2. You must always check the bank statement so that you can see the position of your financial businesses. Then the complete financial report. They are also very important that you complete financial report, maybe on a daily basis, weekly, monthly, or yearly, so that the owner, the managers, or the investors, potential investor, they will know how is the position of the finance of the business. Then implication for poor financial management. What are the disadvantage for poor financial management? You will understand that most of the small medium enterprise, they fails because of poor financial management. What are those implications? Financial records are incomplete. Make sure that you complete all the financial reports. The business gets into debts more easily. Money can go missing more frequently. Maybe because you are not recording transaction, people take advantage of that because money can be attempted. So make sure that everything or the money is recorded, is safe, protected. The business will incur more losses if there's a poor financial management. Then, the other thing that we can look at, the contract. So remember that the contract is an agreement between 2 or more parties that is legal binding. So we have different types of a contract. Sometimes you will need somebody who understands legal issues. And you will also need money for that so that you can fund those legal. So there are many contracts that you will enter into as an SME or small medium enterprise owner. For example, insurance policy. Insurance policy is one of the contracts that most of the small, medium, big business, they make sure that all their stocks, business as a whole, employer or employees, they are all insured. Loan agreement, if for example you are going to need money from the financial institution, you will need money from the banks, commercial banks, you will have to sign in a loan agreement. So lease agreement, if maybe you don't have, for example, equipment, premises, you will have to lease. So in those ways, you will have to sign the lease agreement. Then after the contract, we have a lease situation when an assets and liability statement is required. Lease situation when assets and liability statement is required. So before we can talk about that, what is an asset, what is a liability? So an asset is an item that belongs to the business. So we have different types of assets. We have short-term assets, we have long-term assets, and the liability. So the liability, also under liability, we have a short-term liability and the long-term liability. So your assets and liability statement can be used in the following. For example, when you apply for a loan, when you apply for a car finance, when you submit the tax returns, when you apply for business fund. Then, collateral. What is meant by the collateral? Collateral is the assets that the borrower used as a security for a loan in case the borrower failed to settle the loan or to pay back the money that he or she owned to the bank or financial institution. They will just take that assets. So for example, you can use property as a collateral, a vehicle, cash, and you can also use investment. So let's look at the loan. So when you go either to the bank or one of the financial institution to apply for a loan. So there are documents that they request. There are documents that they request that you must have. For example, they need you to have your ID. You are expected to have an ID so that they can know who is the person who's applying for the loan. So if it's a bank, it's a loan for the bank, they will need a bank statement for the business to see how much do you have, how do you control your finances. Proof of residence, where you come from or where your business is situated, cash flow statement, income statement, the balance sheet, cash flow statement, income statement, and the balance sheet. Then we have what we call debt loan and equity. Equity. So a debt, we're talking about the loan. It's the money that the business borrow. That's the debt. And we also have what you call equity. When business buy on credit, remember its debts increases. That is about the debts or loan. Equity refer to the wealth of the business. The wealth of the business. So equity is calculated by subtracting total liability from the total assets. Then you will have the wealth of the business. Then the problem faced when obtaining the finance or when you are applying for a loan, there are problems that you are going to face. For example, no credit card record, no credit record. So they found that you don't have any credit record. So it's going to be difficult for them to approve to your loan. Insufficient collateral. Find that the collateral that you have, it doesn't have a market value. So it's going to be difficult. Financial statement not up to date. Make sure that your financial statement is up to date. The balance sheet, income statement or income expenditure. Inappropriate business plan. Inappropriate business plan. When you're applying for a loan, they also need a business plan. It must be a good business plan. It must be a good business plan. Then the source of equity for new venture. Where can you source the money? Where can you source? Simply means where can you source the money for the new venture or for the new small medium enterprise? Self-finance. That's your own money. If you have enough money or you have money, you can use your money to start your business, from startup capital to working capital until your business start to make profit. When it start to make profit, that is when it start to operate on its own. Then the other thing is a friend and family. You can get money from your friend, your parents, your cousins, aunt, and so on. So government grant. There's also many grants from the government, but bear in mind that it's very much difficult to access those funds because the resources that the government have is very small and the population or the demand is very high. The demand is very high. So we have a partners and shareholders. Remember, sometimes you can partner with people. If you have idea, somebody come with money, invest the money, that's the partner and the shareholder. Then let's look at the code of conduct. The code of conduct. The code of conduct. The purpose of the code of conduct is in business is to improve efficiency and make staff feel safe. To make staff feel safe, protected against unethical behavior and bad attitude. And ethical behavior and bad attitude. So all the business, they have code of conduct. From government, private institution, your business is expected so that the code of conduct can work as an instrument to make sure that all the workers, people we are working with, they behave in a good manner. So examples of the principle of code of conduct. So if you have employees, somebody, staff members, they are expected to be honest, loyalty to the brand, to the business, fairness must be done to everyone. Then the relationship, we have what we call relationship between the code of conduct and the marketing or successful marketing. A good relationship will improve sales product. A good relationship that is between the code of conduct and the marketing will improve sales of products. No business will use false advertisement. So that is one of the code of conduct. So if you are advertising the product, your services, don't use false information. Don't give customer false information. Don't give customer false information. It must be truthful and transparent. It must be truthful and transparency. It must be truthful and transparent. Okay, let's go back to your assets and liability statement, which can be used when you're applying for a loan. Your assets and liability statement can be used when you are applying for a loan. It's either you go to commercial bank, Capitec, FNB, and so on. When you apply for a car finance, maybe for a business or even for yourself, so they will need those assets and liability. They are very much important. When you are submitting certain tax return to SARS, when you are submitting certain tax return. So they need those assets and liability, especially those assets and liability. They are found from the balance sheet and the income statement of the business. The balance sheet and the income statement. And remember, the information that appear on the balance sheet, the only information that is found on balance sheet is the information that is not appearing in the income statement. So income statement and balance sheet, they work hand in hand. Then when you apply for a fund, so they will need those assets and the liability statement. They will need those assets and liability statement for your business or for yourself. So remember that we focus on the investigate and research the possibility of establishing and running a small business. Like what I said is that you have to do an investigation or to do research about the location where you want to see your business located, and also about the product that you want to offer or you want to sell. If it's a services, do research, investigate. So, and finance new venture. We'll also talk about, we're focusing on new finance or finance new venture. So the process of funding the business, when you have to apply for money if you don't have, and how can you make sure that your money or your business has a fund, because a business cannot operate, cannot function without money, and also you need a good budget so that your business can be successful. We also talk about the compliance of the organizational ethics or the code of conduct. How are you expected to behave as a business owner, managers, partners, or shareholder? How are you supposed to be to conduct yourself? Because remember, good conduct, it means it has a very important positive impact on the sales of product. Because sometimes when the people want to make a business with you, people want to invite you to do business with you, they will look at your conduct, how the business, how is the reputation of the brand and the business. So you are expected to conduct yourself in a good manner. We also talk about the personal profile. So we use short analysis that is very known by almost everyone: opportunity, threat, strengths, and the weakness. So basically with the strengths, we are talking about the talent that you have, something that you are born with it, the natural talent, your skills, your qualification. Then the weakness is the opposite of the one, the thing that you are not good at, and things you are bad at doing, lack of training, negative trait, and also the threat, the negative circumstances exist in the business environment, many competition and the crime, because those are the things that you are going to face with. And we'll also talk about the training. Identify training required to ensure the success of SME. Identify those training that you need in your own business. If you think you need financial education, if you think you need marketing education, you go, you identify maybe TVET higher, TVET college, where you can go and learn how to do marketing, for example, how to save money, how to draft a budget, and so on. Then after you decide where to access the training. That is before you identify the training. We also spoke about the research, the need for research, market research, importance of the market research. The importance is that you want to make sure that the product or services that you want to offer, it reach as many potential customer as you can. Research methods, competitors, you also research about your competitors. And how to select location for a selected SME. How to select suitable location. We also spoke about that. Factors to consider when choosing a location. When you are saying you are choosing, for example, they spoke about Mpumalanga and there's a certain place called Glenmore, Mayflower. What is that you want there? Do you think your business will be successful in that case if you choose those places? Access to the premises. Don't forget about disabled people, for example. Make sure that your business premises is accessible, where people they can come with their cars, they park cars. Make sure that is safe, their cars are safe, their money is safe, and so on. Safety of the premises. You should make sure that your premises or the building that you are using is safe, located close to the owner. For instance, you might find that there are things that is happening maybe after when you are at home. So it must be closer to you, especially when we are talking about the small business. Make sure that wherever you reside, you are next to your premises or the business. The space, do you have enough space for a stock? Do you have enough space for if you have big equipment and so on? The price. If you are leasing, you are going to lease the building or the premises. Can you afford the price? Is it affordable for you? Because you can't take something that you can't afford, because you will have a problem. You will have a problem. We also spoke about the municipal bylaw and zoning. So all the municipality, they have municipal bylaw. So there's a law that is controlling all the activities in that specific municipality, Johannesburg, Pretoria, Ekurhuleni. They do have those laws to control all the activity. So to control all the activity. Then we also spoke about the networking. Networking is very much important for small, medium enterprise, so that you can keep in touch with other people, maybe on the same level of the business, and so on. Suppliers, you need to network with supplier, potential supplier, and so on. Then our presentation will stop here for today, and thank you very much.